the gateway of the Psalter. Psalm 1:1 serves as the grand entrance to the entire book of Psalms, setting the moral compass for everything that follows. The definition of blessed. The Hebrew word ashrei isn't just a fleeting feeling of happiness, it describes a state of deep holistic well-being and divine favor, a plural joy. Interestingly, ashrei is plural, suggesting, oh, the happinesses of the person who follows this path. The negative blueprint. The verse is unique because it defines the blessed life primarily by what the person refrains from doing. The three-step slide. It outlines a dangerous progression of spiritual decay: walking, standing, and finally, sitting. The company of the ungodly. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. The beginning of drift. Walking represents the initial stage of casual influence, listening to advice that ignores God's wisdom. The counsel of the world. This counsel refers to the philosophies, trends, and peer pressures that shape our worldview away from the divine. The danger of ideas. Before a person falls into sin, they usually fall into a wrong way of thinking. The second stage, standing, nor stands in the path of sinners. From motion to stagnation. To stand implies that the person has stopped moving. They have become comfortable in the environment of rebellion. The power of proximity. Standing in the path means aligning one's lifestyle and habits with those who actively disregard moral law. The normalization of sin. What was once bad advice we walked past has now become the path we are standing on. The final stage, sitting, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. The seat of authority. Sitting implies a settled position, a sense of belonging, and even the adoption of a teaching role. The spirit of the scornful. The scornful or scoffers are those who have moved beyond mere sin into active mockery of truth and holiness. The hardened heart. This is the terminal stage of spiritual decline, where a person becomes cynical and aggressive toward the things of God. The downward spiral. Notice the physical regression: walking, activity, standing, association, and sitting, assimilation. The power of no. Psalm 1:1 teaches us that true freedom often begins with a firm no to the wrong influences, the gatekeeper of the mind. We are reminded that we must be the active guardians of what enters our hearts and minds. The myth of neutrality. There is no neutral ground. You are either being shaped by the word or by the counsel of the ungodly. The importance of the man. The singular man suggests that this is an individual choice. You cannot blame the crowd for the path you take. The contrast of wisdom. In the Hebrew literary style, this verse sets up the way of the righteous against the way of the wicked. The invisible boundary. The verse creates a protective fence around the soul, warning us that our associations determine our destination. Social context. In the ancient world, sitting at the city gate was where the elders and judges sat. The seat of scoffers is a direct parody of that authority. Modern application. Today, the counsel of the ungodly often comes through our screens, social feeds, and digital echo chambers. The psychology of influence. Psychologically, we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. The psalmist knew this thousands of years ago. Integrity in the dark. True blessedness is not about performing for a crowd, but about the private choices of where we stand and with whom we sit. The role of the will. Choosing to not walk in certain counsel requires an act of the will that is empowered by a higher desire. The connection to Psalm 1:2. You cannot successfully say no to the ungodly unless you have a yes to the law of the Lord in the following verse. The fruit of separation. Separation from the world is not about isolation, but about insulation, keeping the heart pure to serve the world better. The warning to the seeker. Many people want the blessing of God while still sitting in the seat of those who mock him. The biblical paradox. To be blessed by God often means being rejected or mocked by the scoffers. Jesus, as the ultimate example, Jesus ate with sinners, but he never walked in their counsel or sat in the seat of scoffers. The grace of the gospel. While this verse is a law, it points to our need for a Savior who perfectly fulfilled this walk. The danger of arrogance. Scoffing is the ultimate form of pride. It assumes one knows more than the Creator. The path of life. Every morning we are faced with the choice, whose counsel will I seek today? The loneliness of the blessed. Sometimes refusing to stand in the path of sinners makes for a lonely road, but it is the road to life. The end of the scoffer. Later in the psalm, we see the scoffer blown away like chaff. Their seat is not as secure as it looks. The stability of the blessed. By avoiding the wrong seat, the blessed person finds their place by rivers of water. A call to inventory. Take a moment to look at your circle. Are they walking, standing, or sitting in a way that helps you? The wisdom of the fathers. This verse has been used for centuries to teach young people the importance of choosing their friends wisely. The impact of the scornful. Scorn is contagious. If you sit with scoffers long enough, you will eventually find yourself mocking what you once loved. The power of divine approval. The goal of Psalm 1:1 is to trade the approval of the ungodly for the approval of the Almighty. Practical strategy. If you find yourself standing in the wrong path, the only solution is to start walking toward the light. The beauty of holiness. There is a rugged, quiet beauty in a life that refuses to be corrupted by the cynicism of the age. The eternal echo. The choices described in this verse echo into eternity. Our walk here determines our rest there. A prayer for discernment. We need God's help to even recognize the counsel of the ungodly, as it often disguises itself as common sense. The final invitation, the blessed life, is available to anyone willing to change their posture and their path. Conclusion, start today by choosing a different seat, the one at the feet of the great teacher.